like
You
that
already
shit.
know.
What? Tranquilo, ya tú sabes, nigga. It's popping. Yo, Silverback Chronicles podcast. It's your boy Big H. I got my brother Drizzy.
Yeah, que lo que.
Ya tú sabes, nigga. What's
Go.
good?
Shout out to everybody in the Heights and in the BX, all of New York City,
Word.
all of Baltimore. Shout out to everybody everywhere, especially if you're getting that money.
Stay focused. Stay committed.
Word.
Triple C.
Yo.
What's good, bro?
Maintaining and chilling, bro.
All day, every day. Folks, we love you. We appreciate you. Continue to tell a friend and tell a friend. We've been busy. We've been cooking. A lot's been going on. But at the end of the day, we love you. We appreciate you. Listen, with no further ado, we're not going to waste no time. We got a phenomenal man in the building tonight. Been knowing this man for over, 10, 11 years. Fellow brother on the job, a detective, a monster at what he does. A New York born and raised animal. Holla. So proud of this guy. Can't speak enough about him. Dre, what else you want to add to him?
I mean, you know, told me a lot on the detective stuff, and he put me on to when I got the call up to go to the detective work.
Right.
He was like, "Look, you gotta go to, you gotta get your clothes from Combat Gentlemen." I'll never forget it. And I was like online looking for it. Yeah, you
No
always
more
up
Brooks
top.
Brothers.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah.
All that. All that. Yeah. He used to come through and be like, "Yo, Dre, look at this tie," and flip it over. I'm like, "Oh, that's so nice."
You got to dress accordingly when you get to these units, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
There's no more penny loafers.
I want to say for the listeners that have listened to the Deese episode, there's an episode coming out with Dobry and the gentleman that we have here tonight. He was a part of that detective squad in the Northeast that were just insane at closing cases.
Word.
Like their closing rate was probably the highest in the city, right? At one point. Yeah, for sure. At all levels, at shootings, at beanies, and ag assaults. Yeah, for sure. So
Listen, with no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, our brother, Detective Bank is in the building. What's good, baby?
What's up?
Bring the mic to you, champ.
I'm feeling that slick back, by the way.
Absolutely.
You know, I got to cover the ball spot, so you know.
It's all good. So you work hard.
Yeah.
Word.
It's thinning, but it's still there.
It's all
Oh,
good.
you can go to Turkey. I heard people go to Turkey and they get that.
Oh, they get the
I don't know,
fillings.
that's what I heard.
They call
Somebody
it the-
recommended that to me, and I was like, "Watch your fucking mouth."
Take it easy. Right.
I'm staying bold, baby.
Hey, you know the ladies like it, so until then, I'm good.
Slick.
I'm good.
I like it.
So, bro,
Yeah, man.
please tell the world where you from, born and raised.
Actually, so correction.
But not born in New York. I'm sorry.
Yeah, born in India, in Bombay.
You're the first Indian. Bombay, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, born in India, lived there for 9 years.
Just bring the mic to you. There you go.
You good?
Outstanding.
Born in India, moved to New York when I was 9. Moved to LeFrak City.
Left rack. Wow.
Home of Capone and Noriega.
How about that?
Yeah.
There, Rego Park, Forest Hills, and then pretty much grew up in New York. So, and then now here.
How was that life for you growing up in New York, leaving India,
Yeah, like that change.
It was different,
leaving
man.
Bombay?
It was different.
First
I
of all,
guess.
Bombay, right? Like that's isn't that like legendary?
Yeah, I mean it's one of the biggest cities in India, right? It's
Yeah.
they're in Delhi. You know, New Delhi is another big city in India, but you know, Bombay. We had a good life over there. You know, certain things. My dad wasn't all there. You know, he was alcoholic and all that stuff. My mom was like, "Nah, we can't have that." So it took me and my sister, moved us to New York, and single parent, and pretty much lived in a bunch of places in New York. My mom 3-4 jobs. Did a thing.
Grinding.
Yeah, like 7 days a week. She didn't have a day off in like, I think it was like, when we counted, it was like 8 or 9 years. You know?
Shout out to mom.
Wow.
Every single day she just worked.
Shout out to mom, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's huge.
Big influence in my life. It's the
Absolutely.
reason I work so much.
Hands down.
You know?
Word.
So, you know, she did a thing. She raised us right. And yeah, man, I loved New York growing up. You know, it gave me so many, it was like a cultural, was the word?
Culture shock?
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a skinny kid from India. You know, I grew up playing what we call football, you know, soccer over there. So I came over here I'm asking my uncle, like, hey, can you get me a soccer ball? He gives me a soccer ball, but everybody playing basketball. You know, they're like, who's this little dude playing soccer, man? Like, get off the court. Right. And yeah, so it was a culture shock for me, man. I had to learn quick because, you know, where I grew up, it was predominantly black. You know, because LeFrak at that time, at least in the 90s, was black. Right. And around there in Corona was all Spanish.
Right.
So,
right.
And I mean, it's still a little bit of that. And I think it's, you know, a lot of Jewish people have moved into LeFrak now. And they've gotten it really nice. But back then, man, it was, you know, Section 8. You know, you guys did your thing. We had come we had come legally and then just stayed. So, you know, it was a different kind of grind because it wasn't a legal grind. You know, my mom just had to do her thing and work. And yeah, man, that's where I get my hustle from, you know. Just do your thing and survive.
Right. So how did Baltimore come into play?
So I had some family that lived here. My two uncles had a business over here, driving limousines, and
nice.
So because I went from New York, I lived with my sister in Vegas.
How was that?
Wasn't for me.
How long was you in Vegas for?
About 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what ages? Like
I was 19 and 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no college after high school.
I tried it. It wasn't.
Was it for, it's not for everybody.
It wasn't for me. I couldn't apply myself. Yeah. You know, and I apologized to my mom because I spent her money for the first time we went to I went to Queens College for the first semester, and I blew it. I was like, this is just not for me. I had a partial scholarship to NYU on some art stuff, right? Because I used to draw. Nice. And sketch and stuff like that. But I just found that out. So my mom, she always she was messing with me, right? So we went over there. They told me, you know, I did the little tour with my mom. You know, we go into different classrooms and stuff, see the tour. And at the time, my mom was like, nah, you know, it's $20,000 a semester. Like, we can't afford that. Whew. No financial aid, nothing, right? We can't afford that. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's why I didn't go to NYU. Like, can't afford it. Right? I just found out like a year ago, my mom was like, we went into one of the rooms and they were painting a naked girl, right? There was a live model that was naked. And my mom was like, my son is not going to this school. They got naked girls in this school. My son is not going to this school. It's not going to happen. Wow. So we just cut it off. My mom was like, I ain't tell him that, but that's why you ain't going to NYU.
That's funny.
So yeah, man, I just made it what it was, man. I was like, you know, you get a wall up. I didn't know about it. You know, don't know no better. You just got to move on.
Right.
And yeah, man, I went to Queens Community. It didn't work out. And then my sister was like, why don't you come out to Vegas? Went out there. It was all right. The one thing I'll say is that Vegas, it taught me that, you know, whatever I do, I kind of have to do by myself. I kind of have to make my own, you know what I mean? Lay my own bed, you know what I mean? And that's what I did, man. I came back to Baltimore. I stayed with my uncles for a while. As soon as I got my citizenship, because I had my green card, and I couldn't join the department with just a green card. So as soon as I got my citizenship is when I applied. You know, I worked out. I actually lost a whole bunch of weight and joined. Wow. I was in the same class as Craig Chandler.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was that, 04?
08.
08.
Yeah, 08, 04.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Damn. So how much time you got on now?
15.
Wow. Real quick, because you're probably the first person that's been in the academy with Chandler. How was he in the academy?
So I'll tell you this. So it's a great story about Chandler, right? So Chandler, when we first doing the little run around the war memorial. Remember we used to do that. I don't know what
that was
they
the
do
PT
now.
test.
Yeah. And I'm talking about the original PT test before you even got in.
Right.
Right. So I take off running. I don't know nobody, so I'm just running. Right. And I slow down, and I'm not a runner. I hate running. It's the worst thing you can tell me to do is run. Right. You tell me to hit something, I hit something. You tell me to run, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I start slowing down, and I just hear somebody like right behind me. Come on, bro.
Sounds just like him.
We got it. Come on, bro. We got it.
Now we know each other.
We ain't know each other. Yeah, I ain't know him from Adam. I ain't know nobody from Baltimore. So start going. And Chandler couldn't run either. So Chandler starts slowing
pushing
down.
you.
Yes, Chandler starts slowing down, and I'm like, come on, bro, come on, let's go. We got to make it in. I think we both finished. I think we were supposed to finish in like 16:30 something, right at the time. I think we both finished at like 16 minutes, and we were both gassed. And then I didn't see him. I didn't see him until.
You see no more after that.
I didn't see him no more after that. Like we did the rest of the PT or whatever, and then I didn't see him no more after that until we joined the academy.
Wow.
And went through the academy. That's my man, yo. That dude was the most down to earth person you can ever find. You know what I mean? Like he was just down to earth. And then he came to Northeast with y'all, and I was in the Central. And this is when y'all were doing the 10-hour shifts. And remember, he was living a little further away.
He's always in PG.
Yeah, he was always in PG. But what he would do when he was doing his shifts, because it was like, I think it was a 4 days, 10-hour shifts, something like that. He would sleep on my couch. So he'd be like, yo, Bang, let me hit your couch. All right, whatever. You know what I mean? And he would just come and chill on the couch, and it was great, man. Like we had a bond, man. His feet used to stink. Man, that man has
some dogs.
I used to tell him, man, I'm like, yo, just spray your feet, man, before you get on my couch at least, man. But that's my man, yo.
Miss Chandler, love you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Rest in peace, my bro.
Yeah, I miss that dude, man.
Word.
Yeah.
So what was was it a culture shock from New York to now Baltimore?
Yeah. I mean, it's
How were the people?
very, very different, right? Because you got a mixture in Baltimore. You got a mixture of like Southern and Northern people, right? It's like you have that Southern hospitality, but then you also have that New York like go fuck yourself kind of attitude,
Right.
and for me, I was always been a very straight up dude. Like I'll tell you exactly what it is, and the whole yes sir, no ma'am, all that stuff. I was like, who are y'all, man? So it was a little bit different. I had to get used to it.
You had to adjust too.
Was that?
You had to adjust as well.
Oh yeah. I had to adjust, and I think even with the policing stuff, like it was very different. I mean, New York, like you run away from the cops. That's just what you do. You know what I mean? You see them, you run because they gonna pull you up. And
I rather when we grew up, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and when I came down here, I'm like, oh, you trying to run? Oh, okay. I guess I got to run now. You know what I mean? I got to run after you now. There's a reason why I'm running after you.
Right.
At the time, I didn't know why, but now when I started running after this guy, I'm like, yeah, I know why I'm running after you now. So yeah, it was just, it wasn't a huge culture shock, but it was a shock. Yeah. Yeah, but hoods are hoods, man. It's
don't matter where
if you've been in one, you've been in all.
Universal.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
So you wasn't on patrol long then.
About 3 years, Central District,
That's not
midnight shift.
And when did drugs come into play for you? Was that something you always wanted to do?
It was actually, it was, and it wasn't. I guess you could say. Initially, it was right. I thought I was going to be, the DEA. I was going to be the DEA guy in
your twin.
the department.
Your twin ended up being a drug superstar.
Oh yeah. Big G, man. Yeah. But I soon realized I'm not a very good drug cop. So that just wasn't for me. You know what I mean? Because I was in patrol for 3 years, which was great. I love Central District midnight shift. That was some of the best times I had in this department, man. It was so much fun. There was people over there the officers over there that were just great, and they helped me out because, I mean, they don't do this now, but I remember I had like 6 months on, and I was like, yo, I want to learn how to write the search warrants for this drug house.
Got right on this house.
Yeah, and midnight shift, it's like, well, you got to answer calls or whatever it is, but after 3 o'clock, it's silent.
Dead.
So after 3 o'clock, I'll be like, all right, well, take one of the DDU cars, right? And we would go out there and we would sit there and we would watch the house. And then I had one of the guys over there that kind of helped me out on what I'm actually looking at, right? And I still don't have the eye, but when I say the eye, y'all know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody has a specific.
Right.
The intricacies of actually getting the paperwork for a search warrant for a house. There's certain things you got to look for, so the judge can be like, okay, and sign off on that.
Yeah, when it comes to drug, when it comes to drug stuff, you need that eye, right? And until somebody pointed it out to me, I ain't see it.
You just looking at shit.
I was just looking at that shit. I'm like, yo, yeah, he dapped him up. Okay, like let's move on, right?
Missed like 15 other
Yeah.
things.
Because in New York it was so different because everything was in the buildings,
In the building.
right? Everything was like,
And I'm only selling to you if I know you or my man know you.
yeah,
He is open.
yeah.
So like, yeah, it eliminated a lot of
Yeah,
things.
and in New York, like they would stop the elevators, so the junkies would line up in the what do you call it, in the stairs.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the cops had to come up like 14 flights of stairs if they want to hit the house that had the dope in it. So it was like that's what I was used to because it was wide open. You open the door and you would see the junkies in the hallway. Right over here, it was very different. You would see it in the street, but I didn't know what I was looking at.
Right.
But I still wanted to learn it, right? I still wanted to get good at that. So I started writing a whole bunch of search warrants, you know, and we had a guy in the Central that kind of showed me how to develop CIs. And he was the one that actually, he was like, hey, you kind of got the gift of gab. So, you know, you don't have the eye. So you might as well talk to somebody. So, I'm like, he's giving
true, but that's
like it's an
also-
intervention. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's also a very
That's a vital part too, having the CI.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And
you
like
know.
cultivating CIs.
There's chess
It's
pieces
a whole
to this
other.
shit. It's a whole
Yeah.
other ball game with
It's a
that.
whole other skill. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So explain that the process of obtaining and getting a CI. And what is a CI for the world that doesn't know what a CI is?
It's a confidential
plenty of-
Yes,
informant.
even now.
Confidential
Even your
informant.
favorite rappers are
Hello,
CI.
CIs. It don't matter you. It's okay to be a CI.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
We do this shit for real. So all these rappers, entertainers, listen, the niggas be talking
I
too.
mean, if you talk,
Yeah.
you talk. It is what it is.
You do what you do. I'm not hating.
Yeah, everybody talks.
Everybody talks.
Everybody talks.
Just don't portray of you being that
Right.
gorilla
Right.
when you're really not.
Right. Hey
We-
man,
trust me, we know. We know.
I'm sorry. I get caught. I'm telling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's I'll be real with you. Like if you shoot me, I'm telling. You know what I mean? I have.
That's not snitching though.
It's not snitching, but this day and age, that's what they
think it's snitching.
think it is.
Right.
Now,
Right?
I mean, you rob a bank and you get caught. Are you gonna tell on me and H?
It depends how much time they gonna do. Hey man, these Christian butt cheeks ain't meant for prison. You know what I mean? Ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna be fighting every day. I'm be fighting every day.
H, we can't rob a bank with him. We'll just come back and smoke cigars with him.
That's it.
Nah, but you know what? If we do rob a bank, we gonna do it the right way. We ain't gonna get caught.
Nah, we won't get caught.
That's the whole thing, right?
Oh my God. Love your honesty.
Nah,
Nah, but what's what?
it's all jokes, man. It's all jokes.
Absolutely.
No, of course.
But nah, man. But that's
How to cultivate them. How you cultivate them?
So-
a little bit of that.
So initially, what I did, and I can only speak for myself.
What's a CI?
It's a confidential informant, right? It's somebody who is giving up information, and getting something in return, right? And it's legal by all standards. You know what I mean? They get money to give up information. That's what it is.
Did you see the homie from the Fugees? Was it?
Oh
Prize.
Prize.
He was a long time.
25 years,
Would've
20,
thought
25.
that.
Who would have
Yeah.
thought that?
Who would have thought that?
Right.
right,
They're out
So
there.
you never know.
right.
Exactly. Well, you just finished. You
never know.
that disclaimer.
Yeah.
So my fault. About
No,
that.
no, you good. But
Excuse me.
yeah, man, it's so yeah, I pretty much I had arrested this guy in McCullough Homes, and you know, I was in Sector 2 at the time, but what would happen is that at like 2:00, right, you had to go down to the clubs. Like all the patrol officers would go down to different clubs. The clubs let out. Once that was done, it was kind of like your free time because you're not getting any more calls. So I would go up to McCullough Homes, which was Sector 2 at the time, in the Central, and I would just, you know, I would see what was going on. And there was this one guy that I caught. He only had a few pills. He had like 2 or 3 pills on him, right, of heroin. Locked him up, and just talking to him, like I never treat anybody like an asshole. So I'd just be like, hey, you know, you're going down. Like 2 days later, I caught him again. Same thing. He only had like 2 or 3 pills on him. I brought him in, and one of the old timers saw this, and he was like, yo, didn't you just lock him up a couple days ago? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yo, talk to him. See if he wants to work. Right? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Right? And
Clueless. Like, what the fuck are you talking
yeah,
about?
like, what are you
Right.
talking about? Does he want to work? He was like, yo, just make him a CI. Like, see if he wants to make some money, and he'll give you information as to where he's getting his stuff, or where there's stuff that's being sold, and then you just, you know, he'll tell you that information to kind of
Build
either
your case.
lessen his sentence,
Right.
or to get money, right? And I talked to this guy about it, and at the time, like I think culturally, I was very shy. Like I grew up in New York, but I still had that whole thing. You know, there's certain questions you don't ask, right? And I think that the first time I talked to this guy, like I think he felt that, right? And now I kind of got over it. I asked whatever I want, but at the time he was like, nah, he went to jail. 3 days later, I caught him again.
Wow.
Right? And that's the third time in a week that I've caught you with drugs.
Work that
right?
off.
So I told him, I said, now you got to work this off. Right? I said, now you can say no and I'll take you to jail. But he was like, nah, let's work something out. And we sat there, you know what I mean? There's some paperwork you got to do and stuff like that. And I'll tell you, man, he was my best CI that I ever had.
You was zaddy to him.
Yeah.
You was straight.
Like he would go to jail and like call me from jail, and I'm like, yo, what do you call? Like somebody else would lock him up, and he would call me. Hey, Chris, you see how you do me, man?
Yo. But yeah, that's basically the relationship.
That's basically the relationship.
You tell them where to go, what to do.
Yeah. and you can't fully trust them.
Yeah.
That's the one thing with CI. You can't fully.
But he was your bottom bitch.
They would do,
Right.
Yeah, I am.
Right.
Yeah,
they would do some wild
Absolutely.
shit. They would do some wild shit.
Yeah. So he was good, man. I mean, like he gave me information. He ended up working off the what we got him for, and he continued like working because then we were paying him, right, to go out and do some work and got me guns.
Got to feed the horse, baby.
Yeah, he got me guns. He got me houses. He got me he got me drugs, shit ton of drugs. But it was good, man. Like and it was my first experience of doing something with a CI, and I realized like, yo, I don't have the eye, right? I can drive. I'm gonna drive past these hand-to-hands. Like, what am I doing? Like this is not what I signed up for, right? Because I saw my coworkers like getting guys like left and right. Like, yo, this guy's dealing. Like this shop's there, and I'm like, yo, I don't know shit.
Some people I don't have the eye like that.
Yeah,
I got to see it. I got to see it.
Yeah,
It's got to be like
somebody got to point it out.
Right. Where they saw it like 20 minutes ago. I'm like, what the fuck did you say?
Somebody got to point it out.
Right.
And
that's why I love that, because I'm like, yo, please explain to me what the fuck you saw so I could get.
Yeah.
But you got some drug dogs out there. Like these guys are meant to get guns and drugs.
Yeah.
And they have
art.
that. It really is an art.
It's beauty.
It's hard to say. It's like, I can't even tell you what it is, but they have that vision, that skill set of getting guns and drugs. And I never had that, but when I wanted it, I got it. But they got it religiously, like
The
every
people that
day.
have the eyes, like the people that see it happen before.
Yes.
That's the eye, and can also articulate it.
Absolutely. As long as you can articulate it, you got it.
G's a beast.
yeah, he knows that
He knows
that shit.
G is a beast.
That's how they should know it separately, right? Because he would get all the drugs, and I'd be like, well, I locked this dude up for ag assault or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Because that's what I started doing. I think I was in drugs about 2 years. It was a detail. So I think I had 3 years on, and Torbett passed away. Will Torbett, right?
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Could you believe he passed away the same day that Chandler passed away?
Yep.
Yeah, there's 3
January 9th.
officers in Baltimore City history
That died
they
the
all
same time.
share
Yeah, the same death.
the same death date.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which is pretty spooky to me, but
Yeah. But
Torbett, yes.
so when Torbett passed, my squad was involved in all that, right? I was off that day when he passed, when he was shot, and my squad was involved in the whole thing. And Sector 2, my guys, it just crumbled. Like everybody kind of went, separate ways, and people, moved out of the unit. And I had a lieutenant at the time. Love this dude, man. He retired, I think, a captain or a major. I think it was a major that he retired.
Okay.
But he told me, he was like, hey, you want to come to the Pennsylvania Avenue initiative. And because I was writing search warrants and stuff, you know what I mean, just in patrol. So I was like, at the time I was like, nah, man, I want to stay here with my Sector 2 people, And he was like, well, it's not a volunteer, it's a voluntold. You're getting detailed to Pennsylvania Avenue. Get over there and try and do some drug work. And 2 years go by, man, and then I had a sergeant of mine, Jackson. And y'all know him. He got the little one eyes, like he's always like looking at you. Like he used to be in the Northeast. They just call him Action Jackson. This might be before y'all got. But he told me, he was like, Banker, you ever think about going to DDU? Because drugs ain't it. And I respected him for it. You know what I mean? You have to, because if it's somebody you respect that's telling you like you may want to try something else, you should listen to them.
Right.
It's a blessing.
And
they see your skill set is different.
Yeah.
It's purposeful for something else.
Yeah, because I was never the rah-rah guy or anything like that. You know what I mean? I would always, if I lock somebody up, I would always try and get information from them.
Right.
Like even if they told me to go fuck myself, I'd be like, all right, whatever, man. But I'm still gonna try and get information from you. 9 times out of 10, one of y'all gonna talk.
Right.
Right. And when you at the time I think we were offering like $200 a gun and $1 a pill.
Wow.
I'm like, yo, you want to make some money? We got that money, right? We'll be able to work with you, and so I just had that gift of gab. So he was like, just go to DDU, put in for it. And rest is history, man. I came to the Northeast, so didn't want to be there originally.
You didn't want to.
No, I wanted to stay in the Western. I knew the Western. I had like
Cowboy country.
The Western, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had 6 CIs. At the time in the Western, like just walking around giving me information. So I'm like, I go to DDU, I'm set.
Right.
Like I know everybody. Like, something happens, somebody gets shot. And the Western, that's what you get. You get a lot of shootings. It's drugs and violence. That's all you get in the
That's all you get in the Western, right.
All you get. So I'm like, I'll be straight out, hopefully work my way up to shootings and I'll be good with my CIs. But it sent me to the good old Northeast.
And you've been in Northeast ever since.
Didn't want to go, but best thing ever happened.
Wow.
Other than the 2 years I went down to citywide shootings when they broke everybody up and then brought everybody back. But yeah, Northeast since.
Are you like the senior detective in the Northeast now?
Yeah.
I have to be, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm the most tenured in the Northeast.
Right.
Wow.
Because after Forbes left, it was just you.
Yeah. Yeah, because Forbes had the most, and then like time on, I don't have the most time on, like, as a police officer there, but as a detective, I had the most.
You got tenure, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
10 years in the Northeast.
So what has that been for you? So now you're a shooting detective.
Yes.
How was that for you?
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it, man. This not talking about like the department, the city, or anything like that. Just the job itself.
Yeah.
Best thing in the world, man.
You got to be a sicko to be a shooting detective.
Yeah. Because they, I would always say this, man, with a homicide, you have a homicide, you got a dead body, may they rest in peace.
Right.
But they can't lie to you.
Right.
Right? With a non-fatal shooting, they'll lie to you all day.
All day.
Even if it's just a little bit, right? They may tell you most of it and then they'll lie about the last part.
Yep. To lead you
Right?
down the wrong path.
So, but I love it, man. This is what I always wanted to do. So, and I worked my way up. I started off in burglaries, did ag assaults, did robberies, handle shootings, went back to robberies, went back to burglaries, then went back to shootings. So, but this is eventually I want to go to homicide. Not yet. I got a good sergeant.
I'm sure you could have been there already if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
You could have left with Forbes if you wanted to.
That there was some circumstances that happened that didn't put me there.
I'm surprised he finally. What made? It don't matter. He's there now.
So some office politics, you know what I mean? Office politics, and then he had enough of it, and and I had put him for the same time, but I think the interview process that they had at the time when I interviewed, it was very cut and dry. Like it was very very subjective questions. I
For homicide?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I didn't understand. It was done by robbery detectives. It wasn't even done by homicide detectives. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. The interview process was robbery supervisors that were doing the homicide interviews.
How the fuck did that make sense?
At the time they were joint.
Because they still are in some kind of way.
Because of that LA policy, kind of like robberies.
Yeah.
They think robberies and homicides are joint, but
robberies and homicides are completely different.
Right.
The thing is this, is that like I get what happens in the NYPD and I get what happens in LAPD. Baltimore's its own animal.
Yeah.
You can't come, like, well, you got to do what works for Baltimore.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that unit worked in LA.
Yeah.
Man, it's not going to work here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, it's one of those things where, you know, they always say, well, you know, a lot of homicides happen because of robberies, right? And that's just not true, right? It may be there may be a robbery aspect to it, but it's not so, once again, cut and dry, right? It's robberies. The robbery investigation is completely different. It's somebody who wants their property back. You know what I mean? It's somebody who wants to be helpful. Like, yo, this guy just took my shit.
Right.
You know, with the homicide, you don't have that. With a non-fatal, you don't have that. Most of the times, people who get shot don't want to tell you anything. You know, they don't want to tell you what happened, and you have to talk your way into that.
Especially in this town, because the people that get shot and they live through it, they want their get back.
Yeah,
They want their get back.
yeah,
Like, yo, I appreciate what you're doing for me, but I got this.
Yeah.
And then
oh yeah,
it's a cycle.
yeah. It is, man, and you know, every now and then you'll get an actual victim,
Right.
That, you know, and not saying that the other ones aren't actual victims, but they're in the game.
Right.
You know, they know what they're getting themselves into.
Right.
Right. They know they run in the streets or whatever it is. They get shot. That's just part of that's part of it. Right. It just is what it is. But you every now and then you'll get a victim. You know, you'll get a kid. You know, you'll get
Those
like
are the
a
worst.
12 or 13-year-old that really didn't have anything to do with it. Because there are some 12 or 13-year-olds that are running these streets. But there are some that, you know, I've had a couple that got hit and completely changed their life.
Yeah.
You know, and it's they had nothing to do with the streets. And those are the ones you actually want to close. You know,
Right.
those are the ones
For sure.
This is why you do it. You know. So
Investigating a shooting is probably the hardest case to solve.
because they can lie to you.
Yeah.
You know, this is the whole policy of, you know, I know like the command and all this whole policy of if the guy tells you he got shot over here, you know, you got to kind of believe him. Well, if he lied about everything else, why would you believe that he got shot over here?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if he's telling you something completely that doesn't make any sense, why would you believe that?
Right.
Right. And it's the whole, that's the whole thing. But you have to go over there to find out.
That's all you
make
got
sure.
right now.
That's all you got.
Just to make sure, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And then once you find out that didn't happen over there, you got to start from square one again.
one.
And by the
What
time you get
happens?
back to square one,
You lost man time.
the guy's already gone.
Yeah.
Right? You ain't getting them back.
It's really a chess match.
Yeah.
Because with homicide, and shout out to them, like one of the greatest homicide departments in the country, but they're playing off the sympathy and the death of the victim.
Yeah.
So like whoever is attached to that victim is inclined to help out because they want justice.
Yeah.
With shootings,
They're just happy they survived.
they're like, word. I had a shooting, the one in Fells Point. 5 people shot. His stepfather is law enforcement. Let's just say that. Pops is helping me out with the case. Brings me to the hospital, vouches for me. Kid's like, nah, I'm good. Yo, the kid, he got like one groin shot off and everything. Like it was horrible. Horrible.
They did him dirty.
Oh my God. So I guess because, and I get it, he's young, he's sitting in the hospital with one nut. And he's, yeah,
Sorry. Yeah.
he's sitting in there.
He's still good though. He can still shoot up the club.
Yeah, I don't know what one of
Just need
worse.
one to bust off.
This is one-
Good.
this is
Yeah,
one.
this is the
one.
craziest thing.
This
It
is
came
one.
from the back and it went out the front.
Well, he came from the ass.
Yeah, because he was running.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. But bullets do, as you can see as a shooting detective,
Yeah.
Bullets go
Bullets-
everywhere. When it
bullets
enters the
do different
body,
things.
it goes all around
Oh, yeah,
till
it
it
ain't-
finds the exit.
It ain't the movies,
my
man.
God.
Ain't nobody
Facts.
getting thrown back by a bullet.
no.
Right.
No.
Nah.
Nope.
That don't happen.
So he gets hit. Pops is like, yo, talk to him. Tell him you. And I got pictures of them face to face, like arguing. And I'm like, come on, man. You know, he's like, nah, I'm good. He's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
He was ready, fixated on
Right. He's already fixated. Like, as soon as I get out of here,
I'm gonna handle what I got to
that's
handle.
exactly what he did. He couldn't find the shooter, but he found his mans and put him out.
Put him out?
7. Guess who's sitting in jail now doing life?
Him, your victim.
yeah. So
And that's what it is to be a shooting detective.
I found like
They were both they were in the game, rival
Yeah.
gangs, whatever.
So
That was wild.
I've been doing shootings now like 6 years, and So what I found is that you kind of have to work your way around that, right? And then that was my big thing. Like, yo, you put a wall in front of me, I'm not gonna break down the wall. I don't know why people always say, break down the wall and go back. No, you just find a way around it, right? Like you gotta do certain things, or you gotta say certain things, adjust, right? And
there's a level of sophistication.
because I've had that, right, where I've had like good video, right, and you can see who the shooter is, you can see who the victim is, and all that stuff, right, and the victim just won't tell you. He just be like, nah, I ain't telling you who did it. So what I did, and this is going back to one of my first cases, I just took a screenshot of that surveillance footage, right? I put it in front of him. I go, you ain't got to tell me who did what. I said, you see yourself in the picture? He goes, yeah, that's me. I'm like, all right, that's you, right? You sure that's you? That's half the battle for court, right? That's half the battle. The victim is telling you that's me right here.
That's where I was at.
Yeah, that's where I was at, right? Now I don't need you for court because you're telling me that's you.
It's recorded. You already told me.
It was already recorded. That's you. You see the guy who shot you on here? He's like, nah, I don't see no guy who shot you right here.
But you was there though, right?
Yeah, I was like, but this is the time when you got shot, right?
Right.
Like this encapsulates the time that you got shot. Yeah, that's when I got shot. So I go, okay, well, I have the whole video. I have the shooting on video and everything. So you're saying you got shot during this time. You're telling me this is you. The guy standing in front of you, I know shot you because I have the video, right? Now all I need is somebody who's either locked this guy up or knows this guy to say, yeah, I know who that is, and get a name. Take that name, go to the house, knock on the door, right? Mom opens up. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Detective Banker, Baltimore City Police. I'm investigating something, and I just want to kind of show you some pictures. Tell me what you think. And show her the picture. And I'm like, you recognize anybody in this picture? Yeah, that's my son. This is his name. Yeah, that's his best friend. Yeah, didn't he get shot? Yeah. I was good. Went to the state attorney's office. They were like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I got an ID without the victim, right? You don't always need a victim.
Right.
That's what I found out, is that you don't always need a victim. You got to work your way around it.
No.
Because it's one of those things where I just had the guy who, I never talked to the suspect, right? Like if I have to talk to him, then I got to Mirandize him. I got to ask him.
Absolutely.
And
now he knows you hot on his trail.
And if you're a street dude, you're not going to tell me nothing.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
You're not even going to see him.
Not even going to see him.
Right.
To this day, I don't think I've ever met him. I think I met him in court. Because when he got locked up, they never brought him down to interview.
Yo, he's a monster.
So I never met him.
He's a monster.
The dude sitting there like,
yo, I never saw you before, but you're locked up for murder. Come on.
Yeah.
Or for shooting somebody.
Yeah. So, he went to jail and listen, it's that's how I kind of use my investigations. Like people tell me to go fuck myself all the time, man. Like
to this day, anytime I come across like a hard case, I will call you.
Watch your mouth,
these.
Pause. You starting off already.
Yeah, pause.
Yeah, come on. God damn. Yeah. How about a complicated case?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
We got you.
Yeah, we got. Yeah. Okay. Carry on. Got him.
I got you, baby. I got you.
We're gonna have to put a tally up.
Working on it.
God.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah, put it right over here, right above his head.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Okay.
Make understand.
To this day,
Yeah.
anytime I have a difficult case.
My man. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I will call Banco or Forbes or Dees.
Yeah.
And they will always give me
Jimmy was my
proper
mentor,
way.
man.
Yo, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
When you got started in the whole shooting thing, what was Forbes and Jimmy D, pause. What did they provide? Thank you, brother. What did they provide for you and in the grooming stage of being a shooting detective? How vital was it to your success even now?
So, I love Jimmy. Jimmy's my man. Yo,
Jimmy's hilarious.
Jimmy, everybody that knows me knows Jimmy's my mentor, right? Like that dude.
Yeah.
You was everywhere with Jimmy every day, all day.
Yeah, because that's I want to learn.
Absolutely.
You know, that was the best way to learn. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I got there, I figured out how to figure out, you know, who had the most closures.
Yeah.
It was Jimmy.
It was Jimmy.
And I'll be like, that's the guy. So anytime Jimmy had a case, Jimmy, come on, man, what we doing? And I would have like robbery cases, burglary cases. I'd be like, I'll get to those. So,
Yeah.
come on, what we doing on
riding
your
with
case?
Jimmy. Yeah, what we doing in your case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, and Jimmy, he didn't type very well. He wasn't like the technical guy.
Not at
anything
all.
like that, right? And he had probably the worst partner because I'm the worst Indian ever. I'm terrible at any kind of technical stuff,
Really?
right? But I can write, right? So I can type,
Right.
and I type fairly fast because Jimmy types like this,
Right.
right? So you know, I would just kind of
I
do all the
think
paperwork.
that's why when Story came in, he made things a lot smoother for you guys.
A little bit,
A little bit. Because he was smart.
Yeah. Oh, Story's a beast.
He's a
Still
beast.
around?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said juvenile buggers.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah.
That's my guy though. Story he's a
Story's
smart.
very
my
smart.
God.
When I spoke to D's, Jimmy was like, you need guys like Story. He
Yeah.
said, you need him.
Story.
Yeah.
He said he makes my life easy.
I ain't gonna
Trust
lie.
me.
I thought Story was gonna be a commissioner one day
For real.
because he just has it all.
Yo, he has it all.
Yeah.
The look.
He's
and
squared.
And not only that, but he'll go out there and get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's so squared away. I love Story.
And he
Story,
was
shout
very
out to you.
personable, very like, hey man, what's up?
Hey, yo,
man? He
he's
wasn't a dick.
He's a jack of all trades.
And you ask him for
Story's
help,
a-
he'll give it to you. Like he
Oh no, but like,
on
Yeah.
on the dot. Like he's absolutely Story is one of the better detectives that came out of the Northeast.
That's a fact.
And he was only there for a little while. He
For a
wasn't
little
there
bit.
for long.
Until, because he was in homicide.
He went
Yeah.
outside. Yep.
He went straight to homicide, to the
Yeah.
big floor.
Yeah.
Until he got jammed up on some bullshit. Story, shout out to you. Love you, bro. He's still on the job. But yo, what was Jimmy for
fucking
you?
legend right there.
Straight legend. What was Jimmy?
Jimmy was a straight legend, man. That dude, like I said, he's
Absolute.
forgotten more about investigating than I'll ever know.
How was his interviewing skills? Bar none.
You can't replicate it.
I was
You
eating
can't.
in the box.
You can't replicate it.
Really?
You can't replicate it, man. I
could imagine.
And I've damn sure tried. I hope I've gotten close. I don't think I have.
Could
But
you imagine you're a suspect?
With blue eyes talking to you.
You got a black dude.
Hazel,
with
Hazel.
Hazel eyes.
Yeah.
Who's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
With an Indian from New York.
Talking
Yeah.
to you.
And you're like, what is going on? Like,
And I remember, man, we had this one case, right? And Jimmy was straight, like, real calm, real chill. He would just talk to people like he's your big brother, right? And
Yeah.
and we were in an interview one time, right? And I always thought the interviews, I'll be on my phone, I'll be doing whatever on my phone. I'm listening to what's happening, but I just be on my phone, just doing nonsense or whatever, playing a game or something. And because Jimmy is actually conducting the interview, and the guy was like, "Yo, he recording me? He recorded me, yo?" And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm
bullshitting on my phone, right.
Bullshitting on my phone. I was looking at some female with a big butt or something like that, man. Like, I'm like, I'm not recording you.
Right.
And I remember this to this day. Jimmy goes, "Yo, get the fuck out." To me. Right? He's telling me, get the fuck out.
the
man."
fuck out.
And he tells the guy, he goes, "Don't worry about him, man. Whatever, man. Come on, talk to me. We talking. We talking." And I stepped out. Right, I didn't take that shit personal,
Right, you
Because
can't.
I actually thought I fucked up.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm like, shit.
Jimmy was building that rapport.
He was
He
building
used it
that
to his
rapport.
tactic.
Yes.
Right, and the dude gave him everything he needed.
Ah.
Gave him everything he needed. Right, the guy left out. He fucking smirked at me and shit, like walking out and shit.
Right.
He goes out and Jimmy goes, "Man, fuck that guy, yo. You good, bro? Come on.
good.
Where we eating?
Right, exactly.
You always say that. Where we eating?
Oh, yo,
Jimmy called me last week, man.
he called you?
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's good. He's great. Just called to say what's up.
He got to come through.
Check on my situation.
Yeah, I gotta bring him back.
Yeah.
Jimmy got.
Oh no,
stories.
he's gonna come back.
Yeah, Jimmy got stories, man.
Hey, yo.
Yo, let's do like him, Jimmy,
And Forbes. We got to get
Dobry.
Forbes in.
Yeah,
Forbes is not gonna do
so,
it.
So you asking about
Forbes
Forbes?
is
right?
shy.
not gonna do it.
So you
He's
you
not
asking
gonna do
you
it.
asking about Forbes?
Talking about Forbes.
And I can say this. Forbes
He's a
my
legend.
man. Forbes my man. I can say
Pretty
that.
boy.
I ain't talked to Forbes the first like 6 or 7 months I was in the unit.
Why?
Forbes didn't talk to nobody.
Forbes. I call him non-social yo.
Yeah.
That's just what he is. Like he
Forbes
just-
is selfish
You need to-
motherfucker.
you-
he come off as selfish? Go ahead.
Oh no, he
Finish
is.
it.
He is. And I tell him to his face.
Yeah.
Forbes be selfish, man.
Pretty boy.
I love that man.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
Right. But for Forbes, you got to prove yourself.
Yeah.
Before I talk to you,
1,000%.
you got to prove yourself.
1,000%.
That's
He's
how,
not going to invest his time in you
He got
if you fucking around.
He want to see that
not.
you want to do this.
Absolutely.
And he'll cut you off real quick. If he sees you fucking around, he cut you off.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
Because he's no nonsense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
He about his
That
work.
motherfucker closes.
Yeah.
He about his money.
Yeah.
I look when he was in shootings, when we were all in shootings, I would read his stuff and I'm like, this is fucking genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has almost like a 50% closure rate in non-fatals.
And that's insane.
Yeah.
And it's like the angles of the way he sees things and like, I'm like, dog.
I fuck with Forbes like I fuck with you. I fuck with Forbes heavy.
Yeah.
Forbes want me to go to homicide.
You be good, man. You got the gift of gab. Some people just got it.
I know.
Right? And we like when Smoothie was doing his thing on the street, right?
Yeah.
I would tell Smoothie, and I think y'all both were in the Northeast at the time.
Smoothie got the eye on the street.
I would tell Smoothie because Smoothie had his stuff in the street or whatever. But I would tell him like, yo, come to DDU. Jimmy would tell him the same thing. Yo, come to DDU, man. This is where you need to be, right? You're gonna get in trouble out there. Come in here, right? And he finally did, man. Best thing he ever did. Smoothie's in homicide, like he's one of the better detectives over there.
Let me just shout out everybody in homicide, like with.
Well, you can't shout out everybody.
Not
There's some
everybody.
bums,
everybody,
there's
but
some
like-
bums down there.
No,
Facts.
There's some bums
But like
down there,
with
bro.
Facts.
I
They just
don't
went.
even- I
They
don't
just
even
went to
wanna-
ride the wave.
I don't even want to shine the light on them, but I'm saying like Forbes, Smoothie, Gauze. Who else is down there?
All Northeast, bro.
Sanders.
Sanders,
Yeah,
Parker, my man, Parker's down there.
Sanders a worker.
There's a lot of like,
and some of the old school guys too, man. JJ's still there.
JJ's still
does
there.
his thing.
Yeah.
Tally does his thing.
Tally always did his thing.
Yeah,
Rag.
He
is
Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some great detectives down there, but then there's some that are like, yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, what you doing? You don't even belong here.
Shout out to the 3 females that are killing it. The sergeant, I don't remember her name.
Belay, yeah.
The other female with the black hair.
I couldn't tell you.
They did a thing on them, and then T with the blonde hair. But yeah,
About the Caucasian female
yes, but yeah,
with the glasses.
no, she doesn't wear glasses. She wears bandanas.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
And they're closing everything.
Yeah.
They're closing everything.
Nah, there's some monsters down there, man.
Like people need to understand. Like in this city, you got some spectacular detectives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
We're giving you
deserves
guys
to be on first 48.
creme de la creme of this police shit. It's absolutely amazing. I love
There's
Jimmy.
an art form.
Yeah.
There's an art form every level.
It's different. I love Forbes.
And I tell you what, man, when we finally started talking, right? Because I was in robberies at the time, and I remember him and I were on the same squad together, on the same shift, right? He was doing shootings, I was doing robberies, and there was no what I loved about Forbes. There was no jealousy. There was no hate, right? He didn't really ask me for nothing. I didn't really ask him for nothing, right? But we were just cool. We would sit there. We talk about basketball.
Right.
We talk about music. You know what I mean? Just current events. He got a shooting. I help him out. I got a robbery. I ain't asking him for help because he don't care if it's not a shooting.
He don't care about the other shit.
Forby don't care.
ain't touching it.
Forby don't care, right? But I respect that about him because he'll tell you exactly what it is. He's like, I don't care about this, man. I don't care about my shootings, right? And that's what I learned that, you got to have that kind of laser focus if you want to do good in this job.
Yeah.
You got to have that.
So let me ask you a question. So what do you think about detectives that are handling everything?
It doesn't work.
It does not work. Thank you.
It don't work. They tried that with the Northeast. They tried that. Years ago, they tried
now,
that.
though, like, even now, I don't know how your district is, but in certain districts, some detectives handle shootings, ag assaults,
Cuttings.
like whatever's up.
Yeah.
You get it.
So it doesn't work because. So I'll tell you this, right? If I'm a burglary guy, right? If I'm a burglary detective, I'm handling. I get 2 burglaries the night before, so I come in, I start trying to investigate it. While I'm doing that, a robbery comes out. Now I'm the only guy there. All right, well, I got to handle a robbery. What's more important, the burglary or the robbery? Right now, one is a violent crime, the other one is a burglary. So stuff was taken out, which is important.
Right.
But the violent crime comes first, right?
Paramount.
So investigate the robbery.
Right.
While handling the robbery, a cutting comes out, right? Well, hold on. Let me hold on to this robbery. You know, there's things I could do later on it.
Right.
Let me go to the cutting.
The cutting.
Start handling the cutting. While the cutting's coming out, the shooting comes out. And I'm telling you this because this has happened to me.
Right.
I've been the only guy in the Northeast where all of these things happened on the same day. Right? The shooting comes out, and this is, at the time we were handling everything. Right? And I go, okay, well now I got to handle the shooting. The shooting investigation is so in depth. I'm not worried about the other cases. Like, forget that cutting, robbery, burglaries. Like, okay, those don't matter because the higher ups only care about the shooting.
That's it.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Right? That's number one on their
They
agenda.
want information instantaneously.
Homicide shootings.
Facts.
Right? So they want information right away. So now I got to handle the shooting. How much work do you think is going into the other cases that I had?
None at all.
None.
So that's why it doesn't work. Right? And they tried it in the Northeast.
How fares that to the victims of the robbery?
Right. And at the time, I was a robbery detective at the time, and I knew I wasn't ready for shootings. I knew that. Like my skills in interviewing wasn't up there, right? The certain things, like technical things when you know, we're trying to get into a phone or trying to get into social media, something like that. I didn't have that. Right? I didn't have those skills yet. So I wasn't ready. I knew I wasn't ready. So why y'all giving me this shooting and now I gotta investigate it? You know, and this is somebody that just got shot. And my first shooting was an actual victim. You know what I mean? Like, innocent bystander that got shot. And I was like, well, I'm gonna have to try and do something. I tried to work the hell out of the case, but then the other cases suffered.
You know, being a shooting detective, you get so high off that chase.
Oh yeah,
And you get
I love
close.
it.
I
mean, now I love it. I feel like I was built for this.
You could go 2 days without sleeping, and you're like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta get this guy.
Because
Yeah.
if one thing leads to the other, and one thing is like,
Yeah.
I don't even want to go
And
home.
I'll tell you what 4B did for me, man. Like I love him, and he you know, he closes his shit, and I would see him close his shit, and I'd be like, I gotta do that. I gotta do that. What he's doing right here, because I would see, like, you go down to the state's attorney's office, like he had just these like relationships with the state's attorneys that, you know, I had never seen before. You know, Jimmy showed me that, but I was doing it on
Jimmy.
But that's what Jimmy showed me too.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy had his stature. This when Bernstein was in office.
yeah.
Jimmy. As soon as Jimmy walk on the fucking floor. Yo, as soon as he walk on the floor, it's over.
Yeah.
I went to like 15 different people.
Yeah.
State's attorneys. Then I saw Bernstein. I'm like, yo. He's like, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like when he introduced you, oh, you got a new detective with you? I'm just an officer. I'm working overtime. I'm trying to get this shit down pat. But yo, Jimmy, I love Jimmy.
Yeah.
But that's
Jimmy's
the beauty of
awesome.
like when the department works hand in hand with the state's attorney.
Word.
Yeah.
For one objective, which is to prosecute the suspect. It works so well.
And I'll tell you, man, you know, I shout out the state's attorney's office, the GVED unit now, man. They got some amazing attorneys down there now. They got attorneys that ain't afraid to go to trial.
Yeah.
Like
So the leadership, shout out to homie that's sitting there.
fuck around and find out.
Our good friend.
Right.
Right? Like, you want to play these games? Okay, we'll go to trial. You know what I mean? You got people like Godwin, Jesperson, Battle. Like, they're attorneys that
Yeah.
yeah,
care.
They care.
Is that a case? Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and she's got the guilty verdict on that, the one in Canton.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
there's attorneys that they're like, okay.
Horses. They like, yo, let's
Yeah.
go.
And there was one
That's
attorney,
the
Brady,
last
that was
case.
down there.
That's the last shooting I closed before my suspension.
Okay. Yeah, I was there. I went to the trial.
How airtight was that?
Was that?
How airtight was that?
The case.
It wasn't, but she made it work. She made it work.
The video and everything?
Yeah, even with the video. Because so what people don't realize, right? When defense attorneys and state's attorneys come down, they have a story that they're portraying. Right? So when you go down there, we may know what the story is, right? But defense is gonna bring their own story.
Right.
Right? This is why he did what he did. Right? He was trying to save people.
This is such an amazing episode. Continue.
But that wasn't the case though.
It wasn't. But it's what you can prove.
The defense went with like, oh, he was drinking, he didn't know what he was doing.
And he was trying to protect people. He thought it was somebody else getting hurt.
No.
That's why he did what he did. Right? So, but that's what you have to realize, that, and the state's attorneys have to now come up with a plan to go, okay, yeah, that's all bullshit.
That's cute, but here, take this.
This is what it actually is.
Right.
Just because he thinks that he's protecting somebody don't mean that he gets to shoot two people. right?
Right.
So, and that's what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter how airtight your case is, because I think that I have some airtight cases that fall apart in court, right? Because of one mistake that maybe I did, or
That the defense attorney picked up on.
that the defense attorney picked up on, or a witness will come in there and throw the case completely off, right? So we can all, I always think like, oh yeah, there's a bow tie around the case. Here you go.
But it don't take much.
It does
If
not
you got
take
a
much.
legit defense attorney that's on their shit,
Yeah,
and they pick apart the little things, that make the big difference.
yeah, absolutely.
She killed it.
Yeah, man.
It's all about
100% killed it.
persuading
She's the
what
Yeah,
painting that picture will make sense
Right.
yeah.
for those 12 people.
And the thing is, like, they're young attorneys. So it's, before when we had first, when you were on the floor, when Jimmy had taken us down to the floor,
Right.
like, there were attorneys down there that were there for years.
Homegrown.
Homegrown.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, there were Ivy League attorneys in there.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Ivy
Word.
League.
Word.
That's not even kidding, right? These are prosecutors. These are year-long prosecutors. They would, and they had years in district court. They had years in drug court. They had, and then they finally came down to this end, and they do their thing.
Right.
The issue is that now you got a lot of young attorneys, right? And from the last administration, those attorneys were just taught to, if it's not a bow tie around the case, drop it.
Right. But that's the thing is like, what is a bow tie?
There is none.
Exactly.
There is none.
No.
And also, you're not the feds.
No.
You're not the feds.
Right. And the feds won't take a case to trial unless there's a bow tie. 98%. They're 90%.
They have the means,
Yes.
the technology,
the
money,
time
to make it.
They got time.
Time to make it.
It's
a bow
always
tie.
time.
Yeah.
And not only that, but a lot of times when the feds are on it, you're tying the bow tie yourself.
Yeah.
You're tying, and you're gonna tie it tight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When the feds are watching you, you're doing it to yourself.
Yeah.
With Big Brother watching you, be on your shit.
But they also picky and choosy, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They pick and choose.
Absolutely.
They are.
People don't realize, man, they don't care about the violence in the city.
Right.
And I'll be the first one to say that because I've brought cases to them and they're like, okay.
I think who's
We'll
running
move
the
on from
city
it.
now on the,
Yeah, I mean-
state's attorney side is, but also
Yo,
like
I love Ivan,
PG,
man. I like Ivan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
He's-
PG
He's pro police.
Yeah.
He is.
but homie that approves the shootings now, Pat,
yeah, Gracie. Yeah.
amazing dude.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah.
been there from the beginning to the end.
Yeah. He got
Great
time
guy.
on.
He
And,
got
Ivan brought back a lot of seasoned attorneys.
That's a fact.
And one of my all-time favorites, Brady, he brought her back and she is amazing. Right?
back?
Oh, yeah. Man, she does her thing.
You know what?
Beast.
It's that
Absolute
Shout out
beast,
to her.
man.
it's that unique love for what everybody specializes in and trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
One goal.
One goal.
Put the bad guy in
Everybody
jail.
work together. Let's get these motherfuckers in jail.
Yeah.
Period.
That's it.
Because it used to be where, at least with the last administration, this is what I felt, right? I would take cases down there when we went citywide shootings, right? We would take cases down there and there would be certain attorneys that would go through the case and be like, oh, it's a shit case. And I'm like, all right, well, what do you consider a shit case? Like, what do I need to work on to make it tighter?
Right.
Because now we have time to trial.
Right.
So let's make it tighter.
Right.
And they'll give you some kind of off the wall answer to do something. I'm like, well, that's not possible, or that doesn't make any sense to do that. And they're like, well, then we're just gonna drop the case. We'll just keep the handgun charge, whatever it is, right? They'll just get rid of it. And I didn't enjoy going down there at that time.
It wasn't.
Like down to the Sun Building.
It was different administration.
Very, very different.
The one I was
just didn't make
protecting.
sense.
man.
It did not make
I-
sense.
I know.
I love those attorneys down there, man. They work. They
Now
work
it's
very
different.
hard.
It's different.
You know
And-
why? Because everybody's working towards the same
Yeah.
goal.
Same goal.
Which is like, let's put these people behind bars.
Right.
'cause
And they don't get
committed
paid.
a crime.
They don't get paid no overtime.
They don't.
No.
They get
They're
paid
there.
flat salary.
If you go to those offices, those people, they be in their slippers. Like, they're
chilling.
really devoted to their
Yeah. Saturday and Sunday down in the office.
Devoted
Hey, yo.
to that craft.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I
man.
appreciate everything you do, bro. It's a beautiful thing.
I try.
So listen,
State's attorney in here.
what has the joke? What does policing mean to you? This day and age, right now, where you're at.
What does it mean to me?
Especially like you seeing how
What's
it was
it-
before
And
and how it is now.
And what does the job do for you?
what the job is just love, man. I love
You
this
bleed
job.
blue.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can say that. Not that I hate that.
We can't handle the other shit, but naturally we bleed blue. We bleed blue
Yeah.
because we love what we do.
I just feel, for one, I love the chase. Like we were talking about that before. It was like I love that chase.
Investigation.
I love the investigation part.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I want to be the best at what I do. Right. And like I said with Tony, right, with Forby, it's like, yeah, he's the best, but in my mind, I'm like, nah, he ain't fucking with me.
He can't fuck with me.
Right? Because I know I do my thing, right? And I know in his mind he's saying the same thing. That's why I love him.
Right.
That's why I love Smoothie. That's why we were so good in the Northeast, right? The three of us, we were killing. We had almost a 50% closure rate in the Northeast for 2 years running. Like nobody was fucking with us because we just did our thing. But we all saw it, right? I would see Smoothie would close the case. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, good shit. Oh, I need to close this goddamn case now.
Right.
I gotta figure out a way to get this case closed because he ain't gonna try.
He gonna show me up.
He ain't gonna show me up. I gotta do my thing now.
I want to say in 2001, you guys were number one, and Southeast was number
I mean, 21.
21.
21.
Nah, because you had that one where you had like the 5 people.
So
you
what?
You had the one. Hey, really?
Shout out to the Southeast detectives. That's it.
A win's a win.
Yeah, you talk about a win's a win. We were
got
number
it.
one though.
And
We
you
got
know
it.
what's crazy?
It was
What
a number
you're
one.
saying though, I would be in the Southeast, and I'm like, fuck that guy, fuck this guy. We gotta be number one.
Hey, yo. Because I'll be chilling with him in his office.
Yeah,
It's just him on the overnights.
yeah.
And he got to sit. And he'll get that call. He'll be like, yo, fuck, I just got to shoot. I'm like, oh, see you later, bro. I got to go.
Yeah.
Yo, and he was like, yo, it's just me. It's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he took it. But like a G, he took care of everything.
Oh yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, we
Because I'm
had,
chasing these motherfuckers.
Right.
man.
bro. We
I
had
want that
times
number one spot. But
when we were in
love, though.
when we were in Citywide, right? And we had Fallon. Shout out to Fallon, man.
Oh my God.
Best sergeant down there.
Well, first of all,
Best sergeant down there.
Citywide shootings was probably the best era of police work that I've ever experienced.
Okay.
In detective work.
Yeah.
That was amazing having everybody on that same floor.
Yeah. I'd say
So much experience.
I'd say when we came back and it was me, Forby, and Smoothie, that was probably the best policing that I've seen.
Right.
Okay.
That for me.
Well, with you three, absolutely.
Yeah,
Hands
for
down.
me that was the best
Yeah.
because we worked off of each other and we really synced in on, and we knew our cases, man. Back, forth, left, right. We knew our cases, and like I said, nobody was fucking with us
Yeah.
because it was just we knew how to close these cases, right? We knew how to talk to people. We knew, okay, he ain't talking. Let's figure out how we going to do this,
Right. Strategy.
and it just link up a strategy and get it done. I remember Smoothie and I, we took a case where the shit happened on Moravia and Moravia and Bel Air Road. We had video of the vehicle, right? We linked that vehicle all the way block by block on video camera all the way to the county.
Wow.
All the way to the county from Moravia and Bel Air Road, right? Back alleys and everything. We were getting like private cameras from people. All the way to the county, there was a spot where it was a security store that sold cameras that actually had very high def cameras that we finally were able to pick up the tag on a vehicle. But like shit like that, right? All day long out on the street, sweating in a suit, just sweating.
Just chasing leads.
Trying to find this damn car. Where did this car go? And we were going from, okay, did he go this block? Nah, he ain't go this block. Let's go to this block. Did he go on this block? Nah. Oh, I see it on this block right here. All right, let's follow him this way. And it just, that shit is so much fun, man. And when you have a good crew, that's why I do it, man.
Time goes by, man.
Yeah, time goes by.
fun.
It's like what does
Like a
policing mean to
puzzle.
me? It's like it's like a brotherhood, a sisterhood. You know what I mean? Like it's you get to work with your best friends. Like
Yeah.
A young detective that you got with you now. I love the young brother.
A-Rod.
Love A-Rod.
Yeah, that's my man.
How do you feel grooming him? Does it take?
He had it in him.
I was getting ready to say that.
Yeah, he got the old
He
school,
just won it.
the old school people they used to say piss and vinegar.
He got that.
He got that, and they don't make him like that usually. You know what I mean? And he just got it. You know, he's and you know I call him he's the what Jimmy Butler say the TikTok generation. You know what I mean? He all on the phone and he knows how to knows how to work tech stuff.
He can multitask fast as fuck.
Yeah, you know, bilingual.
But he's on it.
He's on it. He's on it, man, and he is like he's the next generation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Really?
He's the next generation. Like he's gonna do.
I see it. He's so smart.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's smart. He's witty, but he wants it.
Yeah. Yeah, and he has arrogance, just like all of us.
Like all of us.
Right? And he just knows. He knows. Okay, he has that fire. Like, okay, this case, I gotta close this fucking case.
Right.
Like, come on, what we gotta do to close it? Banker, what we gotta do to close this case? All right. He's like, I know what I gotta do. I'm gonna tell you what I gotta do, and you tell me, and I go, yeah, that's right. Come on, let's go get it done. Now you telling me, let's put it into action.
How do you feel being the Jimmy D of the DDU now? In the Northeast?
I can't. That's too big of shoes to fill.
Nah, but you feeling them.
Nah, it's too big of shoes to fill, man. It's big because it's a different generation.
But you're the tenure guy, so you know the steps. A lot of them, they don't know the steps, so they look to you to know what's C and D and E and F.
But you have to want to know the steps.
Big difference.
Very big difference, right? Like A-Rod will come to me for everything, right? Not everything. Let me take that back. A-Rod will come to me when he's stuck, right? Or if he doesn't know what to do, he'll come to me.
Right.
A lot of detectives won't, or a lot of police officers won't. Back in the day, when y'all didn't know something,
Ego.
Yeah. Oh, it's straight ego, and that gets in the way of this job.
Yes.
You know, and you can't have that ego. I don't know a bunch of things, right? My sergeant Schmitty, he is one of my favorite sergeants.
Smitty's still there?
Yeah.
Smitty's the man.
Yeah.
It's not nothing that man has ever been through.
20 years of drug work.
Easily.
That man is a legend in the Northeast.
Right.
And did it the right way. Like,
Absolutely.
That's the one thing I can say about Sergeant Schmitty. The right fucking way.
Squared away.
Squared away.
Dre,
Right?
get the fuck off your phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Carry on.
But he was one of those dudes. He's one of those dudes that, you know, I lost my train of thought now.
Smitty.
No, we're good.
20 years.
Yeah, like
Drugs.
with him, when I first came in DDU, right? When y'all went patrol, y'all would come back and ask questions.
Absolutely.
You know, all the time. Like, yo, what can I do with this?
Yes.
What can I do with that? Whatever it is, right? We would have so many officers coming back there and asking us questions. Or when we would be like, yo, we need that dude from that block right there, right? And y'all be like, all right, what time you need him? What time you get off? Yo, I get off by 5. I need him before 5. We got you.
Say less.
Right? Like, it would just get done. Right now, it's very few and far between when officers are actually coming back there asking questions or wanting to get it done. Because anytime you try and tell them something, they got an excuse.
You also made it fun like, yo, if you find my guy that has a warrant, chicken box for me. Yo,
Nah,
you find
it
this
was
guy.
Coco's.
No.
Right.
And don't forget about Mars.
Right.
Okay.
Yo, you
But
find this guy.
but that was the Jimmy D day.
That was a Jimmy thing.
That was
yeah.
Jimmy's
Yo,
day.
you find
That was
this
a Jimmy
guy.
thing. That was Jimmy
Bottle
thing.
on me.
Yeah. That was a Jimmy thing.
But how do
it's
you
like, yeah.
how do you feel though? You feel good about it?
About what, policing?
No, just leading the young generation.
Yeah. Yeah. At times it's a little...
Like you have hope. You have hope.
On the investigative side.
Yes. And for
Because
certain
when you
people-
get guys like A-Rod that really want it
Yeah.
and they want to seek it,
Yeah.
it's a big difference.
And we got another one that's...
But do you have somebody else?
Yeah, we got somebody over there now. He's kind of like a story.
Nice.
Where he's very smart. Go by Lipka.
Okay.
Very smart, quiet dude. You know, keeps to himself, but really smart. And he wants to know. He's always reading or doing something, and he always wants to know the right way to do something. Right.
Right.
So it's just like I like teaching the tricks, like certain tricks that you can use, because the procedural stuff is going to be there. Right. You have to do certain.
There's the foundational things that are always intact.
Right. Foundational things you have to do.
Right.
That's never gonna change. I like teaching the tricks. That's what Jimmy taught me.
Absolutely.
He taught me the tricks, right? That you don't. There's more than one way to skin a cat, right? And that's what he taught me. So I'm like, I like teaching those things to the younger guys.
That's dope.
You're passing it down.
Yeah, like the young boy was asking me one time. He was like, yeah, I got to do a DNA warrant on this guy, right? And he's not in jail, so we don't know where he is. You go to his house, he's not gonna open the door. Right, he's not going to answer. He doesn't have to answer. At this point, he just sits in his house and he doesn't have to come out. So I'm like, all right, well, we got to do the DNA warrant. I said, when's the next court date? He's like, oh, it's on this date. I said, well, he's like, yeah, but can I just do it in front of the judge? I said, yeah, go make a big scene. His defense attorney's not letting you to get a DNA. Just go make a scene. Go over there. Hey, judge, I got a DNA warrant. Can I swab him in front of you?
Real quick.
They're gonna say yes.
What they gonna say? No, a judge has signed this warrant for me to get your DNA.
Right.
You can't say no.
No.
What a
If
spectacle.
you say no, okay, we'll go to the hospital. We'll get your blood.
Either way, it's gonna get done.
Either way, it's gonna get done.
One way to skin a cat.
Well, what a
It's gonna get-
spectacle.
So like those kind of tricks,
Right.
Right. I
Something
remember
like that, you're automatically like guilty.
Right, but he
People are
didn't
looking at you
realize
like-
that in the start. Like he thought he was like, oh, I gotta like if I go past these 10 days, the warrant expires, and I gotta go get another warrant if I can't find him. I said, well, why are you looking for him? You know where he's gonna be. He's gonna be right there on May 5th, right there. Come on, let's go get him.
Right.
Like, that's all you gotta do. Why are we running
Common
around?
sense.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all a question because we was just talking about like basketball, like old school 90s, 2000s versus the guys now. In the same retrospect for like policing, the newer guys can't play in the league that y'all played in because the rules were different.
Very.
Right.
Hand checking. Using
Yes.
that same analogy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it limited your scoring from doing certain things. It's
Yeah.
a lot more freer. Like if you hand check now, it's a foul. It might be a technical foul if they
Right.
go for the layup. That same, how are they allowed to play in a league that doesn't allow hand checking anymore and certain things that are going on in that same analogy when in any, you know what I'm saying, when y'all were young pups, it was always the old dogs. Man, y'all can't do it like us. And then y'all, you know what I'm saying?
It's
y'all
always
go
like
through
that.
those things, right?
Yeah.
But they really are honestly handcuffed with the things that they can and can't do to police. They don't have those.
In certain respects, yes.
Well,
Well-
that's more patrol than investigative work.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
It's different.
Well, and not really, because like say with juveniles, right? Now you need the parent before talking to them or asking them any questions. You need a parent and you need a attorney there with them.
Yep.
Right. What attorney in their right mind is going to let their client
not gonna happen.
talk to us?
Never.
Right. It's at that point it's a wall. And like my guy A-Rod, I think 9 out of his 10 cases are all juveniles. So he can't do anything with it. Like he's like, well, I can't talk to nobody. They need their mother, father, or the attorney there with them. Like it's so in that respect, like there's a wall, right?
That's
and
so frustrating.
I haven't figured out how to go around it. I'm gonna figure it out though.
I mean, because we see these videos, and I mean maybe I'm over sensationalized. I've never seen more kids jumping on like police cars, and I'm like, we all from cities. I've never seen. I've never seen that many.
Well, because they
It was
know.
always the crazy dude that did. You like, yo, you know, you going to jail, dog. It's
Yeah.
hundreds of them doing it, and I'm like. I mean, what can you do when it's like y'all like it's property stand there? It's like,
You know what?
It's disrespectful.
It's just it's just like Tavon said. It's all about the optics. So if you see a juvenile jumping, if you pull that motherfucker off the patrol car, he falls on the floor. What do the optics look like? Why would you do that to a
You
juvenile?
hurt my baby.
Yeah.
You see the way he landed? Is that police protocol?
Grown man pulling a child.
It's all about optics. And that's why officers don't want to engage in that. Because if you do something, it doesn't have to be malice. You're doing it to protect that individual, but you're doing it because look what they're doing to police property. Taxpayers' property. It's like you try to remove that, but in removing that, there's a chance that individual could fall different, or if you grab them a certain kind of way, they're coming for your job.
Yeah.
So that's why officers like, yo, fuck that.
Right.
If you want us to police this way, I'm gonna fall back and I'm just gonna watch.
And that's what's happening.
I'll get a description. I'll get what he's wearing. Hopefully we could get an IG, know his IG, so we could then
Right.
that'll further the investigation or obtaining his identity. But that's the way to go around business now. Policing's not hands on no more.
And,
And that's why you get
super reactive.
that's why you get Chicago.
Yeah.
And that's why you get all the other places where these juveniles think they run shit and can do what the fuck they want to do, because the powers that be want to sit back and just lay back and let the chaos happen.
right.
So that's why as officers, gorillas that with the shits, we can't be with it because the department don't want to see that, because it's all about what the public sees.
And then the juveniles, they see that the gorillas, they're not gorillas. We can do whatever
We chilling. We do what the fuck we want to do.
Ain't no gorillas out there no more.
The gorillas are standing there like
over.
this,
That
ready.
that
But we
ain't going.
can't do it.
So it's so in that same analogy to me is like it ain't no more fucking defense in the league. because they've legislated it out.
Facts.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So-
I can't-
so in
you
certain
can't hand
respects.
check anymore.
Yeah, so in certain respects, right? So
You can't even throw an elbow. You can't
Right.
do none of that.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? There's no more layup rule. They
And that's
There
what I'm
is-
saying. So like,
yeah, and
nah,
so,
there
so,
is
so
none.
well, there's certain officers that take it too far too, right?
then what happens to them?
They'll go. Well, I'm not doing anything then, right? And that's not the case. You still have powers.
True.
You
That's a
still
good point.
have police powers. You can still go do your job, right? Yeah, you can't
There's
use
just ways about it.
There's ways about it.
ways about it.
right? Yeah, you can't now get into a car with the scent of marijuana, right? That's a law that passed, right? Just the scent of marijuana, you cannot no longer search a car
Alone, you can't. No.
alone, right? So they go, well, if I can't do that, then what's the point of me pulling over cars, right? Well, no, there's other ways to get into the car, right? If you pull a car over and you see further movements, right, where you see somebody bending over, right, like he's putting something underneath, you can go into the car. There's other ways to do it, but they choose not to do it because, like he said, it's optics, right? But there's other ways to do it.
You just have to articulate why you did what you did to
Right.
justify going inside that vehicle. If the gentleman's moving around, he's showing, okay, what do you have? What are you tucking?
Right.
And
And
you
now-
have to paint the picture to why
Yeah.
in a car stop. If it's simple, if he's doing extra, you can articulate, high
high risk car stops.
high risk car stops, what the individual is doing inside the vehicle from your police experience to your training. Usually people that, if they bend over or if they've been inside, they're trying to put a gun underneath their seat. Or if they're doing something, they're trying to hide, marijuana. Based on your training experience, you can articulate why you removed the individual from that vehicle, and that individual is responsible for everything inside that vehicle, including the passengers inside the vehicle. So you have to know your fucking job and articulate why you did what you did. A lot of officers are lazy.
Yep.
Like you said, there's other way. Well, I can't say a lot of officers are lazy, but a lot of officers are timid and don't want to do that.
Yes.
But how about everything y'all both said, right? Boom. I turn my lights on. I'm calling it out. Now I got a high-speed chase. What happens?
Break it off.
Call it off.
So what was all that for?
Because if
What was all that for?
no, I get that. But if you don't know, it's not worth continuing a high speed chase.
Right.
If you don't know for sure there was a gun in that car, you can't imagine it's a felony when it's not. If you don't know the gun's in there. If they stop, it's cool.
I don't like high speed chases. Me personally.
Me neither.
Oh my god.
I don't like it because when I think of it, I think a story.
and I think of Chandler.
And I
know-
think of both, and I still love them.
Yeah. No, and I've been with guys that love
No,
it.
I like loving it, but it's too many moving parts.
Too many moving parts.
And
No,
it's
it's a
too-
lot.
and-
It's a high risk.
and there's too much at risk.
It's a lot of risk.
That's a fact, especially in this city that doesn't have that doesn't have
Right.
a pursuit
Right.
policy.
And it's high risk, low reward.
Absolutely,
Right? Because you don't know why he's running. You don't know why he's running.
You don't know.
It's high risk, low reward.
Yeah.
Right? It's different where you see the guy, hitting rounds, discharging rounds. That's different. I'm not talking about that. But just a regular car stop, high risk, low
Now,
reward.
I will always advise the younger guys, don't go on that.
But the problem is that they're not even trying. Right? Not everybody runs. Not everybody takes off.
No.
Right? I always say talk them into handcuffs.
But can I argue with
best
you
way.
all?
That's the best way.
Talk
Talk
'em
them
right
into
in the
handcuffs.
Smoothest way.
Can I argue with you all? Because I know
Sure.
you all do it, but just what I'm saying, 'cause we're talking.
That's why I became a detective, man. I love arguing.
That again, using the same analogy, because they can't use the old school rules from the 90s and the 2000s or even the 80s. That's why you see the low rate of individuals. So you see what I'm saying? Like how many, like it's almost what, I think you're down 30, 40% or so. So that's a direct correlation with the fact that I'm getting jammed up for, again, using the same analogy, for hand checking. For the things that I saw in the league when they go for a layup, I was always taught no layup rule.
Right.
And it's supposed to be called a foul, not a flagrant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to hurt somebody, but you have a no layup rule.
But that's policing is always changing. Right?
Okay.
It's always changing. You got to change with the ways. You can't be stuck on the old way. You can't.
You gotta adjust
Right.
to the new ways of doing things.
And even if your mind is on the old way,
Right.
you have to go, okay, well, I can't do it that way no more. So now how do I figure out a way to do it now?
Especially
Right? With the juvenile thing. I know it's a block, in my mind, I'm trying to figure out a way to get around that now. Right? I'm trying to figure out what can I do, right? Where I don't have to talk to the juvenile, right? The juvenile, you might be the juvenile sitting over there. Hey, mom. Oh, hey, dad. You know what your son did? This is what your son did. He's there. He can hear me. I'm not talking to him though. I'm talking to you.
Right.
This is what he did. Is this him in this picture? Right. This is what I know he did that.
Yep.
I'm not talking to him because I need a lawyer with him. Right. I'm not
you talking to
Mirandizing
mom?
him. But if I'm in your house
Or guardian.
and I go, I got to talk to you about your son, and you go, come on, have your son come down and sit over here, and I'm gonna talk, but I'm talking to you. I'm
That's
not talking to him.
justifiable.
Right? So that's my mind thinking about how I'm going to go around that. Of I don't have to talk to you. I got to talk to him. Now, hey, Dad, go talk to your son. I'll be outside. You tell me if you want to talk.
You know what? It's
different.
Just, it's just about adjusting to the new times and what they want. A lot. You can still get done. There's ways around it. We all can agree policing is so laid back now.
Yes.
It's not what it used to be, and I don't think it's going to be what it used to be. But they can't get mad at the results.
Right.
Right.
That's, yes.
You cannot get bad at that.
That is
because,
the point.
Exactly. You dropped the hammer, so you should know things are going to be different moving forward.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about, more officers are being jammed up now over small bullshit things. So you should know it's going to replica. If an officer sees another officer get jammed up over something that's like, yo, you're not going to take care of him? And there was no malice and he's a very good guy? No, fuck that. I'm not doing nothing. I'm chilling.
Right.
I'm chilling.
Yeah.
So you can request what you want, but fuck you. I'm not putting my life on line because you want to sit back and just chill and talk shit. Absolutely not. And play it safe. So we now got to be accordingly. And it is what it is. We still love police work, but when you're ready to let the gorillas out and do what gorillas need to do to stop this bullshit, we'll still be here.
Well, it's why
Watch how fast the bullshit will stop, though.
It's why a lot of the community is calling for like stop and frisk.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of the community is calling
They
for
want
it
that back because they're
want it back.
tired.
Yeah. They're absolutely tired because it's like
Man did that.
you know what I mean? You got to what can you do?
That's a fact.
It's if the old Miss Lady can't come out of her house
what's
because
crazy?
so many people on her stoop.
Everybody got a gun right now.
Oh, everybody.
Everybody got a gun right
Everybody.
now. When I tell you,
Everybody.
what? There's guns everywhere.
Everywhere, man.
But yo,
You know how many guns could be confiscated right now? But I'm not doing that. I gotta play it safe.
Yeah. Nah, there's a lot.
my bro,
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming out, bro.
Yeah, man, it's a long time coming.
Listen, this shit should have been done 2 years ago. What?
We talk, man, but you know.
Hiding from us.
But no, I'm glad it happened because it was like, yo, Baker could come out tonight. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
We
Let's
made
get
this
it.
happen
Like
for
2
We
days
you.
had to
ago.
make it happen.
Yeah.
We made this happen
I
for you.
appreciate y'all, man.
No, I appreciate you, bro. Your listening means everything. I know you're an avid listener. You tune in all the time, but your episode was paramount. You had to come here. It was a
detective.
must. The world needed to hear
Appreciate it, man.
your perspective on what we do, because, bro, like we all come from it, bro.
Yeah.
The world's not getting this from nobody else but us.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you. I love you so much. Any shout outs you want to give out before we wrap?
I
this
just want to say
thing
they need to play some of these in the community meetings.
up? Facts.
Yeah.
Wow, that'll be dope.
That's dope.
Like they need to play these and they'll stop you. Like the higher ups or whatever will stop you from doing it. But the community meetings is where it's at, man.
Yeah.
Because it's they're gonna say what they're gonna say in the community meetings, but
Community meetings get crazy.
you can tell them straight up, like, yo, this is what's happening. This is why we can't do what we
It
doing.
gets crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But nah, man, no. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you more, bro.
Like I said, this was a long time coming. I always appreciate when
My guy.
when good people doing good things. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's
That's what it's about.
I mean, we just care about the profession, but more so, we just want to spread more positivity and boost morale with everyone that's wearing the uniform because it's a tough job.
yeah.
so. I'll say this. I want to say this, right? So Patrick Beverly, on his he said something where he said only 50% of players actually love the game of basketball.
NBA.
Right? Yeah. So that's what he said. Only 50% actually love the game. I think it's actually less than that. That actually love the game.
Wow.
Right. And I feel as though that with policing, that's what we got to get back to. We got to get back to hiring people and or even if you get hired and you don't love this, but making this something that somebody's gonna love, right? You need to love this shit, man. It's there's no other way.
It's gotta be in your blood, bro. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm always at work. Y'all know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always at work, right? And it's not like I want to be away from my family. This is what I got to do,
Right.
right? This is the job. Sometimes
To provide.
you got to provide, and then like if I don't do something on a certain case, it may go dead, right? So I got to work the case.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we got to find people that love this shit,
Yeah.
right? And if you don't find that, it's a lost cause.
Yeah.
For real.
Don't even hire them.
Don't even hire them.
They're gonna be a liability.
Yeah, you're gonna get one or two that don't love this shit, but you gotta hire people that love this shit.
Absolutely.
You know, that love the city, that want to do good for the city.
But we always said that, like, if you don't love this job and you get on the job will expose you.
Always.
You gotta love this job.
Yeah.
It's still the best show on. It's still the best #1 show on earth.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Forever.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
You show up to it. You got to deal with it. You
No
got to
matter
have
what
the
city you
mentally.
in.
Don't matter. You got to have to get the skill set to adapt to whatever's coming your way,
Yeah.
and that's tough. That's why policing is being the Joker. You got to play many different hats. You got to be smart. You got to be funny. You got to be an asshole. You got to be everything under one
Passionate.
umbrella.
Educated.
Everything.
Everything.
You got to play so many parts. I'm telling you. That's why we're underpaid. We've been underpaid. But we love what we do. I'm city police. I'm not going to the county. I'm not a county cop.
Nah.
I wouldn't make it there.
I'll be bored to death.
I'll be bored to death and I'll be cursing everybody out. They wouldn't like me.
Yeah. Nah.
It's just different.
Yeah, I get fired.
I'll get fired. I'll get fired.
I get fired. Bro.
Word, once you get the city in your blood, and it's just different. We police
It's like
different.
when Axel Foley went to LA.
Word.
Yeah.
You know
But he's
what
not
I'm
a
saying?
Beverly Hills detective, bro. Word.
Yeah.
They were like, what? What the?
But with that being said, Silverback Chronicles podcast. Listen, I want to thank my brother Banker for coming out, man. He's such an amazing man.
Appreciate y'all.
From the city. He from New York. He from home. Indian. Came from Bombay, you heard?
It's only like 3 of us.
Okay. Is it Mumbai now?
Right.
I call it Bombay, man.
Bombay all day.
It took,
now
yeah, we got
the city of Mumbai.
we got an independence, and it took 50 years for them to change it back to Mumbai. Nah, I call it
man.
Bombay. I was born in Bombay. It's still Bombay.
Something sexy about
Something sexy about it all day.
the Bombay.
Listen, this is what no other podcast is bringing this to you. We bringing it to you live and direct. Detectives on the job. You heard?
A detective from Bombay?
Stop
What?
playing.
Like what? Like what?
Stop. Dre.
Yo, I was gonna have some. Yo, peace and love. I was gonna have some like elephants and shit.
Nah, I ain't got no elephants, man.
Elephants,
But
bro.
peace and
But
love, though.
if I come on next time, though, we talk about policing in India, man.
Absolutely.
That shit is crazy. It's crazy.
Come
over
on
there.
whenever you want.
Word. Triple C.
Blessed are the peacemakers.
Listen, fellas, people, we love you. Silverback Chronicles podcast. I want to thank my brother Banker for coming out. It means everything. Listen, he's a detective, a shooting detective. Got over 15 years on. Been on the job. Know what to look for. It's a beautiful thing. You see the content we bring in? Like, we different. We educated. We smart. We hood savvy. Been there. Like, what's wrong with elevating and being great and helping out for your fellow comrades, your society, your city? It's a beautiful thing. Silverback Chronicles podcast. Stop playing. We here now. We're not going nowhere. We love you. We appreciate you. Triple C, what episode is this?
140.
Is it 148? 149? One of the two. But we busy.
When we post it, it'll be right.
It'll be right. We love you. We appreciate you. Everybody, please stay safe. Whatever God you serve, stay loyal. Keep squares out your circle. Silverback Chronicles podcast. We love you. Be easy. Take it easy. You heard?
Peace and love, baby.
views and opinions expressed on the Silverback Chronicles podcasts are those of the hosts, producers, or the guest appearing on the program. They do not reflect the views and opinions of the federal, state, or local government. This includes but not exclusive to the Department of Defense, Homeland, and the Baltimore City Police Department. The Silverback Chronicles podcast with Dre, Big H, and Triple C. Hit the subscribe button, like and comment.